Okay, guys. Well, yesterday Embark put out a new blog post. This is regarding the future of Arc Raiders, and we're going to check it out today. So it says, we're changing how we update Arc Raiders. Here's what it means for you. Again, this was posted yesterday. So it says, Hi Raiders. Arc Raiders has grown far beyond anything we imagined at launch. And every day we see players continuing to shape life in the Rust Belt in ways that inspire us as developers. I think that's true. I think they had success that they did not anticipate at all. So they were kind of scrambling, I think, a little bit, trying to keep up with people's expectations. It says, with that in mind, we want to talk about our update cadence moving forward. We're changing how we update the game. When Arc Raiders launched, we planned to offer monthly updates. The intention was to keep you all engaged and ensure the game always felt fresh and to give you reasons to keep braving topside. But once the game was in players' hands, we saw that the kind of long-term experience we wanted to create for Arc Raiders requires more transformative updates. Interesting, okay. I think kind of reading between the lines here, we're seeing maybe that they had a huge engagement at the beginning when the game first came out. 450,000 concurrent players on Steam alone, not including consoles. And then with subsequent updates, we haven't seen the return that I guess that they'd like to see, as many returning players. So I think you can kind of see that a little bit. If you guys took the recent survey that they put out, it was like 20 pages long. It took me like half an hour to do, and you can kind of tell that they are trying to figure out how to keep people engaged. Me personally, I've been super stoked on the game ever since it came out, and I've been totally engaged the whole time, but I mean, that's just me. Okay, over time, we found that the pressure of a monthly cycle limits how impactful these updates can be. You feel it, we feel it too. Running at that pace isn't sustainable or compatible with our bigger ambitions for this game. Major updates will come twice a year. So going forward, we've made the decision to release major updates twice a year, larger in scale, more impactful, with the goal to genuinely change how you play the game. Don't worry, a dedicated live service team will continue running Arc Raiders day to day, regular live updates, plus balance fixes, bug fixes, store updates, and player events aren't going anywhere. This additional development space also allows us to invest more deeply in the health of Arc Raiders, from progression and economy balancing to fair play and anti-cheat efforts. We know these are foundational to the experience, especially in a game where every encounter and extraction matters. Well, that's interesting. So major updates will come twice a year. So if we look at the prior roadmap, the first major update was in April. So it took them 4 months to come out with the first major update. Now, what do I mean by major update? I'm talking about the new map and the new large arc. Now, we did have the smaller updates, Headwinds in January, which included a minor map condition. February, we had Shrouded Sky, which added a couple smaller arc and again another map condition. Minor updates, fun, but minor updates. And then in March, we had another map condition, and then again some small arc. But I wouldn't consider any of those pretty substantial. For me personally, I thought they were pretty minor. And then Riven Tides again is the major update. So if they're talking about twice a year, that's going to slow down. I think they're initially planning on a major update 3 times a year. It sounds like every 4 months. Or so of course, even though it's going to be major updates only coming twice a year, they're still going to have a live service team do small updates day to day. So that could probably be things like map conditions and minor things like that. We'll see. I don't know. It's probably going to get into more detail here as we keep going. So now, me personally, I've never seen, at least I don't think I've ever played against any hackers. We know that they have easy anti-cheat, and they also have, they said, multiple things that they've developed in-house, namely the most effective being machine learning cheat detection. But it sounds like they are focusing on it, so that's great. I guess there probably are some cheaters in the game. Let's keep going here. Frozen Trail, our biggest update yet. Our next major update lands in October, and it's the largest update we've released since launch. This isn't just about volume, it's designed to address the broader questions the community has been asking. Here's a taste of what's coming. A sprawling new frontier. Explore a new landscape in the Rust Belt with layered design and new mysteries to uncover in the largest map in the game. That's awesome. The largest map in the game. I'm pretty happy with Riven Tides. I think it's super fun. It's definitely a bit of a cage match on a smaller map. It's almost like Stella Montes but outdoors, where it's compact, easy to find people, easy to get into a PvP fight. But I love large maps. Blue Gate is my favorite map in the game. I love exploring Arc Raiders. To me, one of the best parts about Arc Raiders is the immersion. Is feeling like, there's this entire world up top side, and we're gonna go up there and we're gonna explore. So, if this is the largest map in the game, that's awesome. That could be really exciting. Now, I know that if we look at and I'll put it up on the screen, some of the concept art that we had seen before, there was a huge map. It was like a city on the waterfront with bridges going across it, and there were skyscrapers, multiple skyscrapers. It looked absolutely huge. I think a lot of people were hoping or thought that Riven Tides was going to be that map. So either it could be possible that that's the new map coming in the game later, or maybe they cut that map. I know that concept art, a lot of the concept art for the game was, online from prior to the change to the extraction shooter genre, from still when it was an open world. So possibly that could have been a part of that version of the game. We just don't know. Hopefully that map is coming, because it looks awesome in the art. So let's see, moving on. Our most ambitious Arc operation so far, including new Arc enemies with fresh designs and unique behaviors that will challenge raiders in new ways. Okay, that's interesting. Now, we've already seen some new Arc come out. I love the new Arc, the new large Arc that came out with Riven Tides with the lightning. It's super awesome. So we're gonna have to see some even fresher designs. Now, I guess there has been some feedback that a lot of the Arc are kind of spins of prior enemies, in terms of like the Comet is it's another rolling Arc. Things like the Vaporizer are a lot like the Rocketeer. So that's probably what they're talking about here, is some fresh designs, completely unique movement, and things like that. So that's exciting. Moving on. New systems of progression. Many players have maxed out their Raider Den and hit the skill point ceiling. Frozen Trail will introduce new goals and more ways to shape your Raider's progression. So I don't know if they're saying here that we're going to be getting new ways to progress on top of the skill tree, or if they're just going to remix the skill tree, because I do know that they've mentioned, multiple times in the past that they want to revamp the skill tree. So I'm not quite sure what that's talking about, but maybe we will see here. Exploring the origins of Arc. Okay, this is awesome. What are Arc and where do they come from? Frozen Trail gives raiders the opportunity to begin uncovering that mystery. Okay, that's really exciting. One of the most exciting things about Arc Raiders to me is the world, and the world building, and the storytelling. And, there's a lot of mystery and a lot of questions that we have as far as where they came from and what's to come in the future. And none of the updates so far have addressed those things yet. So that's really exciting to see that they want to touch on the story and maybe do some more story beats for us. Now, I think, if I recall, I think they may have said they want to do some Arc Raiders TV shows or something like that. Maybe that was another game. Oh, that could have been Helldivers too that talked about that. But maybe Arc Raiders said that too. I mean, that's really exciting. Improved skill tree. So reading between the lines here, I think we are going to see new progression on top of the skill tree. because it says new progression systems, and then down here it says an improved skill tree that's listed separately. So it sounds like we're going to get an improved skill tree on top of new progression, which should be pretty exciting. Alongside new weapons, items, instruments, cosmetics, and more. Okay, so of course, you know, we got new weapons, items, instruments coming, new instruments. Maybe we'll get some more instruments coming from other parts of the world, not just Italy. It'd be cool if they added mariachi instruments or something like that. Cosmetics, of course, they're not gonna forget the cash shop, and more. Okay, so continuing on, it's important to understand we're not just stacking new content on top of the existing experience. We're refining core systems to support a more meaningful long-term experience, one you generally want to keep returning to. Again, you know, I think the retention, if you read between the lines, the retention hasn't been, getting people to come back hasn't quite been where they want it to be. Frozen Trail is just the beginning of where we want to take our raiders, and we'll share more in the coming months. Okay, let's take a look here. We'll move on a little bit. Starting next week, a new trader is coming to the game. Okay, so I mean, that right there just shows they are still going to do regular updates to the game, smaller in scope. Next week we're introducing a fresh mechanic designed for late game players, a new trader from a nomadic tribe of surface dwellers. Okay, so we're gonna have a new visitor coming in to Speranza from outside of Speranza. So that sounds like gypsies to me. Are there Italian gypsies? Are there Italian gypsies? Italian gypsies. Okay, so yeah, these are Italian gypsies right here. So they're probably gonna look like the. Ooh, I hope they look like these guys. The little bit of a retro futuristic design added on top. Okay, that's cool. That's exciting. Many of you have invested a lot in the game, and there's a few common problems that we keep hearing about. You're holding a lot of high value items with no way of offloading them in rewarding ways. Okay, that could be purple and gold crafting materials or weapons. Well, you definitely have a way to offload those. You just PvP. So it could be more talking about crafting materials, like queen reactors and matriarch cores. Your stash is filling up with the game's new items, and we haven't increased the capacity. So if they're giving us a way to increase storage capacity without doing the expedition, that's interesting. And very few of you are going on the expedition. Okay, I think this is the first time we've heard confirmation of this. I've never done an expedition yet. I've never felt like I needed to. I still don't have all the blueprints. I've been playing since release. In fact, I've been playing since way before release. I can probably break the NDA now, but I was in before the technical tests. That's interesting that we're getting confirmation of that very few people are doing it. Either because it is not rewarding enough, or because it's simply too painful to part with your favorite items and blueprints. What I want to know is, does that mean blueprints you've already learned? Or does that mean duplicate blueprints that you have sitting in your stash? The new trader unlocks at level 25, and he offers unique rewards, rare items, and cosmetics in exchange for your high value items. So all of the other traders require money. This is the first guy that wants items from in the game. He'll take items off your hands in return for these weekly rotating rewards. So they're going to rotate out weekly, but he may sometimes ask you to go and find specific rare items to trade. That's cool. Okay, so his quests are probably going to be rotating and updating all the time, and he's going to ask you to go out and find particular items in the world. They needed to do that a long time ago. That's super smart. That's a good idea. The new trader also offers 2 perks in exchange for high value item. Extra stash space to help you increase your capacity, and the expedition vault. This allows you to carry over up to 5 items across the expedition, so you can set up your new raider with your favorite items. This is just one part of a broader set of improvements arriving this year. Building for the long term. One thing that has become increasingly clear since launch is how important progression and player goals are to the Arc Raiders experience. If you love Arc Raiders, you want more reasons to keep returning to the Rust Belt, and we want to build systems that continue evolving alongside the game. Some of the progression improvements we want to implement simply need more development time that we haven't been able to address properly while running on a monthly cycle. I think we've kind of seen that, you know. I think they had an idea to pump out content at a certain pace, and maybe it kind of does feel like, you know, that content was kind of being made and then pushed out, and maybe it wasn't getting as much development time or testing as you know, is possibly ideal, or that they would like, or that, you know, we would like as players. um I wonder if this means they're going to do a PTE. That's interesting. Moving to larger updates allows us to spend more time refining the systems players engage with the most. There you go, exactly. We're working to deepen progression across multiple areas of Arc Raiders, while continuing to expand how players shape and personalize their raider. Very interesting. Okay, I'm excited for that. Let's see what that means. We're investing more into features like Trials. I think Trials does need a little bit more oomph to it, so they remain reliably fun to engage with, not a grind. We're also putting effort into making the Expedition project more rewarding and less punishing to pursue. This is an ongoing part of Arc Raiders' evolution, and you'll start seeing the first steps of that very soon. The bigger picture. It's important to us that players understand something about where our collective Embark brain is at. Our ambitions go far beyond what players have seen even so far. We want to go further in showing you the wider universe of Arc Raiders. That's awesome. More story. We want to know what's going on. We think about Arc Raiders as an experience that should continue expanding over time. And right now, we're still early in that journey. I think they said 10 years for the game. If they play their cards right, go way past that. The biannual cadence gives us the opportunity to develop to build future updates with more intention, ensuring that gameplay, progression, narrative, and the world itself all move forward together. We want more story, baby. More fucking story, guys. Embark, more story. Right now, Raiders are facing an escalating Arc threat, and the society in Speranza may feel helpless against it. But Raiders aren't built to stay on the back foot. The goal has always been bigger than survival. It's about one day reclaiming the surface. Frozen Trail will start to progress this goal and expose elements of this challenge, but it's really just the beginning. We aim to constantly shift the paradigm that Raiders operate under, so you feel the effects of your actions and perseverance against Arc. I think one of the things that we've seen with the Riventides update was the earthquakes. I don't think they're earthquakes. I think that's the Emperor, which I think is cool, that they are hinting at the future of the game and updates that are coming with things that we see in Speranza right now. I think that's awesome. I wonder if the Emperor could be part of the update in October, because there's no way they're going to start hinting at that now and not put it out in October and wait another 6 months from then. So even though that they've announced the largest map coming, I mean, that right there says it, that the Emperor's got to be a part of it. If it's going to fit the Emperor in it, the map's got to be freaking humongous. Okay, let's go down here. We're finally at the end. Thank you, Raiders. The Rust Belt is nothing without the Raiders who fill it with life every single day. We understand that this change won't please everyone, and that it might be frustrating not to get updates as frequently, but we truly believe this will be worth it. I mean, it sounds like, again, that they are still going to be pushing out updates. We got a new trader coming. It's not just going to be bug fixes. So I'm okay with that. Thank you for continuing to push us to create the best game that we can. As always, we'll see you topside. Alexander Grondel, executive producer. Well, I think that this is awesome. I think that honestly, this is mostly good news. I don't think that there's too much to be disappointed about, to be honest. It sounds like there's a lot of change coming, a lot of new content coming. We're just not going to get it once every 4 months, 3 times a year. It sounds like we're going to get it twice a year every 6 months. And I don't think that's too bad. And if it gives them more time to polish the content, make it even better, allow it to be a more complete package with story beats, gameplay updates, and more paradigm shifting content, that's all good news to me. So that'll be it for this one. See you guys in the next one. Bye.